We are here in the matter of Whitehead versus Girk, case number 18-06103DP. I've read your motion, Mr. Gerke. Ma'am, you've read his motion.
Yes.
What's your input? I didn't receive a response from you.
Um, I didn't write a response, but
Right.
we were just in front of friend of the court
Yeah.
because he wanted to switch it to halfway meeting.
Hmm.
And I have mapped from where we were
Okay.
meeting
When were you at the front of the court? I don't have any record of that.
just a couple months ago.
Just a couple months ago. And were you living in the uh were you living in what is it? Fenwick
I was
at the
living in Sparta at
So you were
the
living
time.
in Sparta at the time, yeah. And bottom line, you stayed where you were at. So at that time, there's going to be no change in transport. You've now moved further away. So now we do have to address that issue. That's a change of circumstance since the last time this was reviewed.
Okay.
So the question is, where? And he's offered a place in Wayland. Um,
Yeah. He said Wayland, and I know our meeting time is 5:30. I have another child who I meet her father at 5:30 in Ionia at Myers or Walmart on Friday and Sunday.
okay,
And I'm willing to change the time. If we need to push the time back for her
right.
to have travel time, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. So, yeah, it sounds like you're going to be doing some traveling. This move is going to cause that. Have you always met the other parent in Ionia?
Um,
Oh,
I'm talking, you didn't meet anybody in Ionia, Cody. Irene, have you been meeting that other person in Ionia for a while
for the
now, or is that
now.
new? Okay. So if we push back the time, so if you drop off the one and we make the pickup and drop off at 6:30, we adjust by an hour, you should be able to do that, right?
Um, from 5:30, it'll be just after 6:30.
Yeah. So about maybe 6:30 to 6:45.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. In that case, we'll make this the new meeting point and change the time to 6:30 to 6:45, depending upon traffic. You get a half hour leeway if it's no fault of your own. In other words, let's face it, construction on 96 right now, it goes down to one lane. It can
Yep.
take you an hour and 20 minutes to get there. So you got to give her that leeway, Mr. Gerke.
Yep.
And
Now, is that for both drop off and pick up? That way I just make sure I know time wise.
yeah, yeah. Drop off and pick up. That way she has time. And
Okay.
thank
Okay.
you for being accommodating, sir.
The issue I have with that, I don't have a vehicle.
You're the one that moved. You started this one. He did the last one and we made him do all the travel because you didn't move. Now you've moved. So now we do have to adjust. How
Okay.
do you get the other child to Ionia if you live in
My
Fenwick?
sister.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you're gonna have to make some adjustments.
Okay.
And had you have not moved, there would have been no problem because we generally put the onus on the person that has moved. You weren't it. Now you are. So now you're gonna have to take equal time. Okay?
Okay.
Now I have
Good
a
luck.
question. Does
Sure.
that start today because we have a pickup today?
Yeah, it should start today.
Okay, that's what I want to make sure. That way I know I'm going to the proper place.
Okay, and I'll try and get an order in. If I'm typing my own, it can take me a couple weeks, so I'll try
Yeah.
to get it done for you, okay?
All right. Thank you, sir.
Here in the matter of Coonrad versus Sattler, case number 17-02013 DP. I didn't receive a response, Ms. Coonrad. Did you have one? Have you read his motion?
Yes, I did, and I turned in a response to motion regarding parenting time
Okay,
at the clerk's office on,
okay. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't receive it, so it wasn't in as of yesterday because I was there. What's your response? Let's hear it.
okay. What I suggest was instead of having overnight visits every other weekend and that, what I proposed was to have like a visit every other Saturday from 9 a.m. in the morning till 7 p.m.
Okay. Well, we normally start it off like that. I mean, we
Okay.
started off a few hours pretty much every week for, 8 or 10 weeks. Then we increase it to two every other weekend, so Saturday and Sunday, not an overnight. Then after a couple months of that, we give it an overnight for a couple months, and then we go to every other weekend. We slowly increase it.
She stands silent without a written response, and the judge wastes no time tightening the reins. Authority lands swift, showing this won't be a day for excuses.
Would
Okay.
that be acceptable?
Well, as of right now, yes.
Okay, well, if something happens that goes wrong with the parenting time, a motion can always be filed to curtail it. But what we try and do is set it up so you guys don't have to come back. If everything's going well, we'll anticipate it going well. So what I'll do is I'll increase it. What times were okay for you on Saturdays then, ma'am?
I said every other Saturday, I believe it was from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And for us to
All right, what I'll do is I'll start it every other Saturday from 9 to 7.
okay.
And then I'll increase it to if we're going to do that every other, then after a couple months of that, we'll increase it to a Saturday and a Sunday 9 to 7.
Okay.
And then that'll be a couple months, and then it'll go for an overnight for a couple months, and then it'd be every other weekend.
Okay, I just want
What's
to
your work? Yeah, yes.
I'm sorry.
No, no.
Keegan has anxiety issues along with ADHD,
Mhm.
and he also was tested for autism, but because it wasn't full enough, his autism wasn't strong enough to register.
Mhm.
They can't diagnose him as having autism. And one of his problems with his anxiety is overnight visits. He
Well,
will not stay at his other grandma's house. He will not stay overnight with
understood.
lifelong friends or his mother. His
Yeah.
anxiety gets so bad that he's throwing up, and sometimes he can be a little out of control to calm him down to get where he needs to be.
Right.
He does
Now,
take medication for his ADHD, and
I guess I had a question here. Do you have a guardianship?
yes, I do.
Okay, Mr. Sattler, I'm afraid I can't order anything in this case. The only case that can order everything in is the guardianship. That's not listed in this file. That's why I was kind of curious. As you were talking, when you mentioned the other mother, I'm like, that brings up a different point. This court
The other
loses
mother's,
this court loses jurisdiction to the guardianship case until the guardianship case is closed.
so I guess
It sounds like you
why,
guys can work this out in the guardianship case. But yeah, I have no jurisdiction over this case any longer until the guardianship is closed.
Then how come back in how come we
Well-
had to go through the courts to get a supervised visit set up?
Well, I don't know who set them up. How was that set up through the guardianship?
No, it was
no,
set
it was
up
set up through Kent
Well, because
County.
I'm looking at the entire file and nobody mentions a guardianship. There's no mention in the file at all of a guardianship.
because when I lived,
Which court is the guardianship through?
it used to be
Ionia.
Kent County, but then I had to move. I moved to Ionia County, so Kent County transferred the guardianship to Ionia County.
Great. That's why somebody was doing something in this case, because they had no clue that there's a guardianship, because it's not listed anywhere. It's just you said certain things that kind of triggered, I have questions now.
I've had
And-
guardianship of Keegan ever since he was born.
Yeah, because parenting time goes through the guardianship.
I thought it went through the front of the court.
Child support can go through the front of the court, but it's then still pursuant to the guardianship.
Oh, see,
Guardianship takes over jurisdiction. The reason it doesn't look like anybody mentioned the guardianship in the entire case. This should have been what was known as, if this was a guardianship case from its inception, it should have had a designation of a DZ. When the case was started, when the case was started, it listed you and the mother, Samantha DeRose. That's why it was a DP, because the mother was involved. But as a guardianship case purely, it should have been a DZ case, not a paternity action. So, in any event, yeah, you're going to have to go through the guardianship in Ionia County. Do you know which judge is presiding over that?
Judge Sykes. Currently, I know he's
Okay.
I don't know when he's retiring. I heard he's retiring soon, but I don't know the official date.
Well, he got the job when I was going to run for it, so
Oh,
I know Judge Sykes. Maybe I'll try and give his office a call on Monday and kind of grease the wheels here for you that there is an agreement. Because all then he'll do is maybe, you'll have to file something, Mr. Sattler, and I'll confirm that he has not turned over jurisdiction, because to my knowledge, he has not. If he authorizes me to do this, I'll call you back. I'll have a settlement conference arranged. But for now, technically, the authorization goes through the guardianship court.
So since you guys ordered the supervised visits, can we take the supervised visits off?
I don't, it sounds like the guardianship court acknowledged that. That's why I'm going to call Judge Sykes to find out if they gave us that permission. If they did, I'll put in this order and I'll have a settlement conference with you to explain it. If they didn't, I'll send you a court order to tell you to file in the guardianship court. Okay?
Okay, so if for
And
some
that's why I'm
reason-
gonna give Judge Sykes a call, because I need to know, did something happen here that's not in the file at all? Because there's nothing in the file that mentions anything. So
Okay,
that's
so-
why we would have proceeded as if this was a normal paternity action. That's what was happening, because nobody asked about the guardianship. It doesn't look like in the case file. All right. I'll give Judge Sykes a call.
Okay,
And-
so we'll be hearing something from you then?
Yeah, well, you'll be hearing something from me shortly, and I'll try and put out there that way you can either know to apply at the guardianship court, or if he gives me permission to say you can do the parenting time through here, that I'll issue the order. Okay?
Okay.
I'll do what I can to help you get through this. All righty?
All right,
Okay,
thanks.
Take care of yourself. Good luck. Sorry about the glitch. That's
Yep.
that's just an odd glitch.
Yeah, I wish I would have known that, a year
Well,
ago.
obviously nobody told you because nobody noted that there was a guardianship. Yeah. So, all righty. Take care,
All right.
everybody.
All
All right.
right.
Good luck. All right.
bye.
Bye. Okay, just when you think. Jimenez Perez versus Cabulo, case number 25-01763DC. I've received the judgment of custody. Mr. Cabulo, did you receive it?
Yes, the paper.
Yes.
Yes.
And does it look okay to you?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
It doesn't look okay.
It does look okay, or it does not?
No, it doesn't look okay.
Okay, well then in 3 days, the court's going to enter this. Ms. Jimenez, you filed this at the very end of March. There has to be at least 14 days between the time that the court can enter a proposed judgment of default and the day that you give him notice. So there are 3 days left. So I will enter this next Tuesday if something does not happen, Mr. Cabulo, because you have been defaulted in this matter.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I didn't know. I didn't know that. Yeah, okay, sir.
Well, according to this, you've received the default and you received a copy of this judgment, but you have 14 days to do something. And
Oh, okay.
this is only day 11, I believe. Well, yeah, it's the 11th of April. The days start counting the day after you filed it on March 31st, Ms. Jimenez Perez. So it's got to be at least a 14-day waiting period before we can enter a default judgment of any kind of judgment on a default. So after the 14 days has elapsed, if nothing occurs by you, Mr. Cabulo, I will be entering this. Okay.
Okay, no problem. Yes.
Okay. So that's what I wanted to inform you, Ms. Jimenez Perez, is that you're a little short on the timeline, but I could have entered it today if there was an agreement.
Oh, I'm so sorry,
Since-
Your Honor.
That's okay.
I'm not sure if I'm understanding this. I did hand this
Yes.
paper with this document to him.
Right.
The motion of the default. I did
Yes.
hand that to him. He probably
On March 31st.
yes,
according to
and
these
both
records.
papers and
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the default
Yes,
can
I
the
handed to
default can
him,
enter the
the
default
same
can
day.
enter after 14 days has elapsed. The 14 days has not completed yet. If there was an agreement, I could have done it earlier. There is no agreement. So the ball is in his court. If he does something, this may or may not enter, and the court will proceed if he does something. If he does not do anything appropriately, then this order will enter next Tuesday. All right.
Okay,
All
no
right.
Good luck.
problem.
Good luck to both of you.
Okay,
Thank
thank you.
Well, don't thank me yet. Have a good morning.
You as well. Thank you. Bye.
I'm
Bye.
sure that's a little confusing, but there are timelines
It
on
is-
these things. Yeah, there
It
are
is a bit
timelines on these
confusing.
things.
Yeah,
Okay.
me
There
too.
are timelines on these things.
Yeah, I didn't know that
Yeah.
because I
Well,
was wearing.
she didn't either. But
Oh, okay.
you have been defaulted in this matter. So she can get a judgment if you do nothing. All right.
Oh, okay. Okay, no problem.
And ma'am, we'll see what happens.
All right,
All right.
thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think she, if I remember correctly, she filed the default because he has not been cooperating at all.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, she came in 3 days too early to enter it. But we'll see. He hasn't done anything up to this point. If he doesn't do anything, I'll be signing that on Tuesday.
Hello?
All right, Mr. Phillips, you connected. Miss Miersma, did you connect?
Yeah.
Okay, welcome to
Hold on.
both.
Excuse me real quick. Excuse me real
Yeah.
quick.
Yes.
I was supposed to I set up a motion
Yeah.
in front of the judge. I set up a motion in front of the judge.
Yes.
In front of the judge.
Yes.
That's why I said court date. I didn't sign up for no Zoom meeting. Where they came up with the Zoom? What the judge? What my judge couldn't come or nothing?
No, your judge gets all the motions, then he divides them between his referee and himself.
No.
I don't get to choose which ones come to me.
But what I'm saying though, I called.
I understand that. What
work.
I'm telling you is the process is you are here for that motion. That's one of the reasons we try to do them by Zoom when we can, is because you take off less work.
I called off work just
Yes.
to come down here, cop. Thinking it's gonna be in the courtroom. They
Correct.
didn't say nothing about no Zoom meeting.
All right. Well, we're here. Let's get to your motion, sir.
All right.
Okay. So we are here in the matter of Miersma versus Phillips, case number 23-09571 DP. I've read your motion, sir. Miss Miersma, I'm glad you're here. Why aren't you taking this child for the parenting time?
I got a piece of paper saying that parenting time was denied. So that's what I was going off of. Then I never
No.
got any appointments on my end.
Sir,
On April 14th, in August, there was an order for custody parenting time. A change in that is what was denied. What was denied was a change in that order. That order still needs to be complied with.
I didn't know that. I thought that
Yeah,
it denied.
no. It denied a change in it. So you need to be following that order from August, which says supervised parenting time. You need to get that child to the place. You all separated. Ooh, according to the paperwork, you separated in 2020, correct? So 5 years ago?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Amy, I just have a question for you. You haven't had any children since then, have you?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, good. Then we can proceed. By law, they're his. We have to make findings that they're not. So that's why I had to ask the question, because we would have to jump through other hoops. At this point in time, sir, Aaron, you filed a complaint for divorce in this matter in December of 2024, correct?
Yes.
And all the allegations in it were true and accurate when you filed it?
Yes.
And they remain true and accurate to this day to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, they do.
And you were a resident of Kent County in the state of Michigan for at least 6 months prior to filing that document?
Yes, sir.
And you were married to Amy by a person authorized to perform marriages?
Correct.
And there's been a breakdown of that marital relationship to the extent the objects of matrimony are broken and irreconcilable?
Yes, sir.
And you've presented to this court a judgment of divorce that you believe to be a fair and equitable division of your marital assets, debts, and all issues of your marriage?
Yep.
All right, Amy, you heard that testimony?
Yep.
True and accurate, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
And you are not currently pregnant?
That's correct.
For the same reason I stated earlier, I had to ask.
Not a problem.
Well, there are many people that find out they're pregnant, and they have been for a month or two, they didn't know, and then the child's born, and then they're surprised when the prosecutors go after their ex-husband.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have had a hysterectomy, so I'm
Uh,
100% sure.
Yeah, well, It's just we have that happen frequently enough that it's just
Oof.
kind of like, okay, one of those things, just moving on with life. In that case, though, I do find vying through the testimony that this court has jurisdiction because this is where you live and the proofs are sufficient under the document. So we'll get this processed. There's a 21-day appeal period on the document. Once that 21 days is elapsed, we'll be sending you the copies, Aaron. It'll be your responsibility to send Amy her copies.
I
All
have
right.
one question.
Sure.
In the documentation, I didn't see, does it say that I'll return to my prior surname?
Let me double check. Parties will retain their married names. Would there be any disagreement with my changing that, Aaron?
No, not at all.
Okay. Okay. What name, ma'am?
My prior last name was Mercer, so it would be Amy Lynn Mercer, Mercer.
Okay. And Lynn is Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
Amy. And if
Yes,
I'm gonna
sir.
if I'm gonna put a new name in here, I want it spelled correctly, right?
Yep.
All right. Mercer.
CER.
Hey, believe it or not only do we have people that get pregnant in the wrong moments, but about once a year we would have somebody come back and they would fill out the judgment and then they figured out they spelled their name wrong that they were going to. So they'd have to come in to amend the judgment when they went to go file it with the Secretary of State. And you're like, okay.
Right?
Weird little glitches can happen. So
I
in any
believe
event,
it.
take care, both of you. Stay safe. Enjoy the weather this weekend.
Thank you. You as
Thank
well.
you. You too.
All righty. Bye.
The default clock is ticking with barely days left, and he finally grasps the weight of silence. If he doesn't act now, judgment becomes permanent, and you can hear the urgency grow. A Zoom outburst melts into resignation, and the marriage unravels in a few calm lines. The judge signs closure, names shift back, and both sides leave what they once were. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.